Ford Flex, and I was called out here. This is actually a gas station. Somebody I know who took it over as mechanic, and I was called on. He has no history, old customer, but the customer's new car. So the first thing I noticed right away when I looked down here, some clearances didn't look right, and when I shook around the radiator, it's not attached at the upper radiator mounts. This whole radiator assembly is just floating around inside there. I also noticed that the cap was stripped and it was forced on really tight. Of course, when I took it off, it was green, so I know somebody did the one can jack off thing, because when I took off the high side cap, there was still dry dust and untouched around the high side. So that's a hack shop thing. I noticed, so this customer was an old customer of his. He doesn't know no history on this car, but the wife can't have no air conditioning, and summertime's coming around. But what I did notice, there's dust and dirt everywhere. You can see how dirty and dusty this is. But this hose right here is clean. There's no dust on this. And then that is cleaned off. And then down below, when I go down here down below, the same suction line, as soon as I get down here, is dusty and dirty. So it's like somebody got brake clean and they just sprayed this, they sprayed that, and they sprayed that, you know, getting the dust. They must have been looking for a leak or something, but there's been no relay of a message from the customer knowing what was going on. So I don't got the whole message, but what I did find out, look way down here. Do you see that? Let's see. Well, I'm sorry, you're looking at the alternator. Down below that, let me see if I can zoom in down there. Boom. Below that first pulley belt, below, that is the face of the pulley, but there's no clutch on it. And it's not a clutchless compressor. The whole entire clutch literally fell off. So you're looking at the pulley face of without the clutch. So that is the initial problem. Then he asked me, but what else does the system need? Well, did we get lucky? Or he get lucky, customer get lucky, and a bolt only backed out and the clutch fell off? I can actually see down on the frame where the clutch came off. It hit the frame, it put a shiny little scrape in the frame, and it fell off underneath the car. So I know that how it happened, but we don't know. Could have been from a frozen up compressor and it snapped the shaft and the shaft came out. I don't know that. So he's gonna do a compressor on this. So he's gonna take it off, and I told him, look inside for metal shavings, burnt oil, anything like that. Any burnt oil, any metal flake at all, you're doing the condenser, you're flushing out all the lines. This has a receiver dryer, you're doing a receiver dryer. If you have an easy expansion valve, what you do right back there, way down there, right back there, and this is a dual AC system. So you're replacing the front expansion valve, and you're going to replace the rear expansion valve, and you're going to flush all the lines out, flush out the evaporator if the oil is burnt and it has metal flake in it. Now, if they got really lucky and only the bolt backed off, that happens in some cars, and the clutch face only fell off and it's nice and clean inside, we're good to go. We just need to do an oil balance. We can keep the same expansion valves. We don't have to flush the system. He doesn't have to replace the condenser. I do recommend doing a receiver old system, plus somebody did the old one can jack off thing on there, because I told you before, and receiver dryers only have a lifespan between 5 to 7 years. Moisture goes right through rubber, so change the receiver dryer every time you open up a system and do work and change components. All right, see you guys later. Got to get to the next job.